Da 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 da. La da 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 da. Good morning, Boker Tov. Oh, it's nice on Thursday morning when we can get together and daven. You know, we say the same prayers every time we get together. And some people would say, you know, why do we say the same prayers all of the time? Well, you know, every time you read those traditional Hebrew prayers, whether you read them in English or in Hebrew, you find something new in them. Because, you know, we change from day to day. We grow and we experience different things. Sometimes we see a particular word and we think we understand it totally. It means such and such, and it speaks to some part of our souls. And then we read it at another time, in another situation, and you go, oh, no, it speaks to me in a somewhat different way. And we are reminded by the rabbis of old, not just to read those same prayers, sing those same songs, but to add something new, something of ourselves in every time we sit down to pray. So we will sing some of those traditional songs and pray those traditional prayers. But you know what? I'm going to also invite you to add something personal in your prayers today. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav lihitatef b'tzitzit. The tefillin shel yad. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'haniach tefillin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tefillin. Eristechi leolam, eristechi b'tzedek u'v'mishpat u'v'rachamim, eristechi v'emunah v'yadat et Adonai. Page 30, if you happen to be following along in the Mishkan Tefillah. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. My God, I thank you for my life, body, and soul. Help me to realize that I'm something new, that I'm something new today, that this composition meaning this totality of who I am is somewhat different than it was yesterday. Yes, I carry with me the experiences and the DNA that I was yesterday, but I'm not quite the same. I'm a day older. The world has changed a little bit, and I thank God that I'm alive. I thank God that I can perceive all of what is new. I am made new today, physically, psychologically, and spiritually. Baruch ata Adonai, rofei chol basar, umafli la'asot. Page 36. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, asher natan lesechvivina lechachin ben yom uven laila. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, matir asurim. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, zokef kefufim. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, roka haaretz al hamayim. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, malbish arumihim. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, hanoten la'ayef koach. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, hama'avir sheina me'inai utnuma me'afapai. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, sha'asani b'tselem Elohim. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, sha'asani ben chorin. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, sha'asani Yisrael. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, oter Yisrael batifara. We now turn to Pesukei de Zimra, page 50. Baruch Shamar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu, Baruch hu. Baruch Shamar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu, Baruch hu, Baruch osei vereshit, Baruch omer ve'osei, Baruch gozer u'mekayem, Baruch merachem al haaretz, Baruch sha'amar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu, Baruch hu, Baruch ata Adonai, melech mechalal batishbachot. The Ashrei on page 52. We'll do the first 4 verses, and then we'll skip to the last verse. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, od yahalu chatzela, Ashrei am shekachalo, Ashrei am she'Adonai Elohav, Tehilat leDavid, Aron mimcha Elochai hamelech, Avracha shimcha leolam va'ed, Bechol yom avreka, V'yachalal shimcha leolam va'ed, Gadol Adonai mecholam me'od, Ugelato ein cheker, Dola dor shabach ma'asecha, Ugevaratecha yagidu. Tihilat Adonai yedaber pi, Vayevarechko b'sar shem kodsho leolam va'ed, V'anachnu nevarechya me'ata v'yad olam. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah bekodsho, hallelujah bekirya uzo, hallelujah bigvuratav, hallelujah kerov gudlo, hallelujah, 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 take a shofar, hallelujah, never vel chinor, hallelujah, tofu machol, hallelujah, biminim ve'ugav, hallelujah, 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 tziltele shama, hallelujah, tziltele trua, kol hanshama tel hallelujah, kol hanshama tel hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Page 56. Yishtabach Shimcha Lahad Malkeinu Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol HaKadosh BaShamayim Uva'aretz Ki Lachana Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu Shir Shivcha Halel V'Zimra Oz HaMemshala Netzech Gedola Gevara Tehila V'Tiferet Kedosha Malchot Brachot V'hodaot me'ata v'ad olam Baruch ata Adonai El Melech Gadol b'tishbaot El ahodaot Adon haniflaot Habocher b'shirei zimra Melech El chei olamim Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shamei Rabba B'almad v'rachirotei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayedechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agola u'v'zman karivim aru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'me'almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach Yitbar v'yitorman v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitala Shmei dekurasha b'richu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'alma v'yimaru Amen. We rise for the Baruch Hu. Lai 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 Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam aved Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam vaed. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy, you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness, you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai, in wisdom you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai, our God, for the excellent work of your hands and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we may all swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer me'orot. והררננו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבנו לאהבה ולרע את שמך, ולא נבוש ולא ניכלם, ולא ניכשל לעולם ועד, כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו, נגילה ונשמחה, נגילה ונשמחה ושועתך. Baruch ata Adonai, הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. Adonai said to Moses as follows, "Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all the commandments of Adonai and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and your eyes in your lustful urge. Lama'an tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedushim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Page 72. מי כמוך פלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורת אילות עושה פלא, נורת אילות עושה פלא. שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים, לשמך על שפת הים יחד כולם, הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל קומה ועזרת ישראל, ובטחן אומך Yehuda veYisrael, go aleinu Adonai tzvot shemo kedosh Yisrael, Baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael. And we rise for the tefillah. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chazdei Avot v'Imot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atah Rav L'Hoshia, Mashiva Ruach, Umarid Hagashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Hamocha, Baal Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemana Talach Chayot Meitim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMeitim, Nekadesh et Shimcha Be'olam Kashem Shamakti Shimoto Bishmei Marom, Kakatuv al Yad Nevi'echa V'kara Ze El Ze V'yamar, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Tzvaot, Melech Kol Haaretz Kevodo, Lumatam Baruch Yomeru, Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo, Udivrei Kodshecha Katuv Le'mor, Yimloch Adonai Le'olam, Eloha Yichtzion, Ledor Vador Hallelujah, Ledor Vador Nagid Gad Lecha, Ulenetzach Netzachim Kedushatcha Nagdish, Veshivacha Eloheinu Mipinu Lo Yemush Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Now, the morning tefillah, the weekday morning tefillah, has prayers for all sorts of things, for knowledge, for clarity, for forgiveness, for health, and for prosperity, and for peace. There are all sorts of blessings, and we are not abashed at all. We're not embarrassed to share with God whatever our needs are, whatever our deepest yearnings and concerns are this morning. It is said that never leave your tefillah kavua, that is, don't leave your prayers just a fixed thing. You need to add something of yourself, something of your own heart in the prayers. This is your time to pray. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, imru amen, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen. The Aleinu on 586. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה יוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. The Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחייך על בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולמלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו, לעולם אין כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דם ירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. Ein Kelohenu, page 626. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkenu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mich Elohenu, Mich Adonenu, Mich Emalkenu, Mich Moshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Emalkenu, Noded Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Wow. Right on time. It's 9:30, and at 9:30 we're scheduled to begin our meditation. So just stick around for a little bit. It's always nice to daven, just to lose ourselves in our prayers, in our ancient prayers, and to add something of our own concern to the prayers as well. Well, it's cold and it's cloudy and it's been overcast for a number of days. Hasn't rained much, but it's a bit gloomy. This is winter. 60, it gets up to, almost 70. We flirt with 70 degrees here in Florida in the middle of January. And we consider 70 degrees winter. The people up north, people in Boston are laughing at us. They're going, winter? Are you guys kidding me? I'm from Canada originally, and Canadians are they go, 70 degrees? Huh. Or they might say 20 degrees centigrade. Are you guys crazy? That's summer. Well, to us, this is winter. You can always tell the tourists down here, they're the ones wearing shorts and sandals. The rest of us are bundled up, we Floridians. You live down here long enough, your blood gets a little thinner, and When it gets under 70 degrees, you put on a sweater. Well, wherever we live, whether it's Montana, whether it is Florida, whether it is Pennsylvania or Georgia or Texas or California, we thank God. We thank God for all of our blessings. Now, let's meditate for a little bit. Now we're in our Torah reading. We are at the very beginning of the book of Exodus, and we will be reading this week Moses' encounter with God. Moses' encounter with God with the at the burning bush, the Snebo Ervelu Ukal, the bush that burned, and yet it was not consumed. It never burned out. I know the Jewish Theological Seminary, the seminary where they train conservative rabbis, they love that symbol. That is the symbol of JTS, the Jewish Theological Seminary, that bush that burns and is not consumed. There is something mystical about that idea. There's something mystical about that flame that burns within us, that spark of God that animates every human being. Now, our time on earth is limited in terms of years, 70, or by reason of strength, 80 years. Many of us live longer than that these days, but nonetheless, our time on earth is somewhat brief, and as Shakespeare says, it's out, brief candle. You know, this Shakespeare understood that light gets extinguished, and yet there is something within the soul of every human being, at least I believe so, that is eternal. There is that spark of love, that spark of life, that spark of consciousness that was with us before we were born. And it will continue burning, even when we are not physically in this earth anymore. You've experienced that when you've thought back on loved ones, you know, people with whom you have shared your life and your love and your affection with over the years. And when they pass away, you know, you can still feel their warmth, can't you? You can still feel their presence. They are with you in real ways. You know, that warm hand on your shoulder when you were a child, when your parent put their warm, large, seemed so large in those days when you were a little kid, on your shoulder to reassure you. When you were having a nightmare, they would come in and just say, it's okay. You know, you can still feel that warm hand on your shoulder that was put there by people who loved you. There may have been times in your life when you were cold and you felt alone, and you were unsure of life. You were unsure of yourself, and perhaps someone physically took their coat off and they put it around your shoulders, and you could feel the warmth of their body still in that garment that they put around your shoulders. That might have been 60 years ago. It might have been 20 years ago. But you still feel that warmth. It's eternal. It burns, but it burns. It warms. It illumines, but it is never consumed. It is forever. Love is forever. God's concern is forever. God is forever. The human soul is forever. So, put your feet flat on the floor. Sit up straight. Let your chin be perpendicular to your spine. I hope you're in a place where you won't be disturbed for the next, 12 minutes or so. And allow yourself the freedom. Allow yourself the joy, the gift, the blessing of meditation. Allow your eyes to close and breathe regularly, short breaths through your nose. Breathe in through your nose. You don't need a deep breath, just enough. Breathe through your nose and breathe out through your nose. It is in the stillness, in the silence, that you find yourself in a meditative state. You notice how relaxed your body is becoming. Your legs and your arms and your torso. The muscles in your face relaxing. Your shoulders relaxing, letting go of any burdens that you've been carrying with you. As you breathe in, you feel yourself going into a meditative state. As you exhale, you feel yourself going even deeper into a meditative state. You may have different sensations in your body, an itch here or there, an area where you feel comfortable or not so comfortable, but you just observe without reacting, without doing anything. You observe. There is a transitory nature of our physical environment. And there is a transitory nature of our minds. Thoughts come and thoughts go. Thoughts arise and thoughts fall away. And it's transitory. A thought that you believed was so important and permanent a moment ago might not be so relevant at this moment. And so it is also with our emotions. Feelings come and feelings go. Emotions arise and emotions fall away. We might think something. We might look at our physical environment and interpret it in a certain way, and we have an emotional reaction to that thought, and it's transitory. So for the next moment or two, we do not get attached to our thoughts and our strong emotions. We observe. For the next moment or two, we imagine that bush that burns and is not consumed. That burning bush. That flame of life and consciousness that is constant in our very essence, in the center of our being. And we allow ourselves to be in this moment, in this place, wherever it is. And we observe, and we are aware of that light, of that flame that was us before we were born. It exists in us now, and it will always exist. It's that permanent, life-giving, illuminating energy, consciousness within us, always, forever, inextinguishable. Moses saw it on Mount Sinai, and we see it in ourselves. We experience a deep and profound stillness and silence. And yet, there is that flame, that life-giving consciousness in the very center of our being. as the sound of the bell fades into the universe. Allow yourself to slowly come out of your meditation. Take a couple of breaths. Open your eyes and adjust to the light. Stretch a little bit. Oh, yes. It's a great way to start the day. Well, remember this meditation. Remember that image of the burning bush that burns, but it doesn't. It is inextinguishable. It's forever. Through the dark times and the light times, through the easy times and the hard times, it's with you and it's there. Just take a breath, close your eyes when you need to, and come to that still, quiet place and sense that eternal light, that burning bush within you, the snaboer of the low call. Well, Boker Tov, Boker Or. Remember to smile and to bring a smile to the face of at least one other person that you encounter on your life's journey today. See you soon.